Okay, this question comes from Matt Lawback. Your question is, when someone refers to bringing up lagging body parts, and particular, the one you're asking about is mid-back thickness, the mid-trap, the rhomboid area. You're saying, how do you do that? And two, how do you do it during prep? Or can you do it during prep versus off-season? So I'm guessing you're already in your contest prep phase. So one, for mid-back thickness, it's not so much the exercises, but how you perform them. Obviously deadlifts. I include a deadlift in my back workout every week, whether it's from the floor, from a rack, with dumbbells, barbells, no matter what, I perform that motion. Also a bent over row of some sort. Now, when I say it depends on how you perform the exercise, a lot of people you'll see they'll row out here, alright? And what ends up happening with that is using more upper back, rear delt, even trap, upper trap. So what I do with the majority of my back exercise, the rows, I bring in a closer grip, which is just about, if I'm standing, right outside my knees. And that will allow me to bring my elbows back further and further and further and get more of a squeeze in the mid-back. So try a narrower grip with your rowing, whether it's a bent over barbell row or bent over dumbbell rows. Try to end with your elbows pinched in tight to your body and as far back as possible. That goes to the same thing for like a bent over row machine. I don't know what you would call that. The platform or any rowing machine. If they have a close grip option, the further back you can get your elbows, the more you're going to hit the mid-back. So that also leads to the question of making gains during your prep phase. Now, I 100% believe that you can make gains during your prep, almost, for me, better than the off-season. Because my off-season, as I've said many times, is more time for rest, recovery, and basically detoxing my body, where the prep phase is 100% full bore. Go and get it. You know, all your sleep is on point, your diet is on point, your supplementation is on point. And as you get deeper and deeper into the prep, you should be growing. You should be adding tissue. You should be looking bigger, rounder, even if you've lost weight, because you're losing body fat, you're losing some water, you're still gaining, and you should be. Also, the intensity of your workouts. Now, when you're 100% on prep and you're fired up, you know, all you're thinking about is that show and that day, that one day where you want to be your best, then you're training like an animal. And if you're not, there's something wrong. You know, you should be going all out all the way through. Now, the last few days before a show, sure, you're just looking to move some blood around and get a pump. But, I mean, I'm 2 weeks out benching 400 pounds. Because I can, and I want to keep that intensity. I want to keep it up. It also ensures that I'm not losing any muscle tissue. If I'm strong as a bull, I'm not losing any muscle. And it's quite visible on stage. You can tell, for example, a guy like Branch Warren, when he was at his 100% best, you could tell the difference between his physique and pretty much everyone else. You know, he just looked like a guy who was lifting heavy weights. And unfortunately, you know, that led to some injuries. His body ended up breaking down, but, you know, I guarantee you he wouldn't take a minute of that back. And if you look through the years, a guy like Ronnie Coleman, the same thing. Trained like a beast all the way through. Dorian Yates, all the way through. And those physiques all had a different look to them. They had that hard, splintered, grainy, granite look to them. You know, and it is what it is. It's, you take the good with the bad. All those guys I named had injuries. I myself have injuries. And that, you know, bodybuilding, that's part of the game. Is you got to push your body as hard as you can to make it change. And oftentimes it can lead to tweaks and injuries. And then if you're able to train around them and can still make gains. But if you want to be your ultimate best as a bodybuilder, or even as a men's physique or a classic physique, you have to push the envelope, or you're never going to make those changes. You're never going to look quite like that physique that you want to look. So that's it, man. I think you need to train as hard as you can all the way through, and that's it. Good luck.
Alright, this is the Boston Mass. Thanks again for watching. Now, if you're not subscribing, subscribe now. Tell all your friends to subscribe. If you haven't, do it now. Alright?